costly to our Navy was the loss of war vessels, airplanes, and equipment. But more costly to Japan was the effectiveness of its foul attack in immediately unifying America in its determination to fight and win the war thrust upon it. Here is the actual bombing of the mighty USS Arizona by Jap planes. These pictures were made by a fearless cameraman who thought nothing of his personal safety to make possible this record for all posterity. A single lucky hit was responsible for the disaster that befell the Arizona when a Jap bomb falling directly through one of the battleship's funnels
The tragedy of Pearl Harbor will forever be remembered by those who witnessed it, and for future generations to be educated about this event. But the Pearl Harbor attack did not just happen out of the blue. It was through a series of events from the World War I and through strategic planning. World War I increased the issue of racism and imperialism in Europe. As Japan's population increased and the economy worsening, Japanese military influence intensified. On December 7, 1941, at 6:10 a.m., Commander Mitsuo Fuchida leads the Japanese aircraft on Pearl Harbor. The first wave of planes included 183 fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes. At 6:45 a.m., the U.S. ward found the reported submarine to kill. The second shot struck the submarine at the waterline and sunk. At 7:20 a.m., an Army lieutenant reported that there were planes 70 miles away. They believed it was the first U.S. B-17 bombers heading for Hawaii. At 7:33 a.m., President Franklin and General George Marshall learned that the Japanese negotiators in Washington were told to break off talks. Marshall sent a warning to General Walter Short in Hawaii, but it didn't reach Short's headquarters until 11:45 a.m., and he didn't read it until 3 p.m. At 7:55 a.m., Commander Logan Ramsey looks out the window on Ford Island and sees low-flying planes that bombs were being dropped off. The dive bomber struck the Wheeler Field, north of Pearl Harbor, and Hickam Field. At 8:10 a.m., an armor-piercing bomb pierces the foredeck of the USS Arizona. This created a huge explosion, killing 1,177 men, and it took 9 minutes for the USS Arizona to sink. At 8:50 a.m., the U.S. Nevada gets steamed up in 45 minutes. At 8:54 a.m., the second wave of bombers attacked the dry dock and hit the USS Pennsylvania, the oil tanks between the destroyers. At 10:30 a.m., 2,390 people are dead, and at 1 p.m., the Japanese return home. The Pearl Harbor attack was a series of unfortunate events. Japan reached their goal of leaving a scar in Hawaii, and those who fought during the war will forever be remembered. But although Japan did reach their goal of leaving a scar in Hawaii, the United States will fight back harder, as this war only brought people closer together.